One of the most important aspects of rehearsing a stage production is getting that script out of your hand as soon as possible. With modern technology, you can create rehearsal files that will provide the actual voices of the rest of the cast. It's the next best thing to a live rehearsal. It isn't difficult, but it is somewhat time-consuming. You may find the results well worth the effort. You only need two things besides a desktop or a laptop computer. First, you'll need a clear recording of the entire show, preferably with the full cast. This can be accomplished at the initial table read of the script. Next, you'll need to install the excellent audio editor Audacity. This can be found online and is completely free. Here is a quick overview of the steps we'll be following in this tutorial. The first 6 items are all preparatory and can be accomplished quickly. So the first thing we're going to do is establish new folder, and we're going to call this folder Audacity Files. That's going to be our main folder. Just for ease of use, we're going to put this on the desktop, and into this folder we are going to put our show recordings. It's been saved onto a thumb drive. So I'm going to insert the thumb drive. We're going to do this. There it is. Okay, there is our drives. We're going to choose each one, holding down the Shift key, right click. We're going to copy. And then we're going to open Audacity Files, right click, paste, and that is going to paste our files into our folder, and there they are. Now we're going to establish a subfolder in here. Okay, we don't need that USB drive. Let's build a new folder. This one's for the pages, and so we're going to call this Audio Files by Pages. And you can pretty much call it anything you want to as long as you know what it is. And we're going to go ahead and make a new folder. This is step 6 on here. We're going to create a subfolder. I'm going to call this Solo Rehearsal Files. And I like a couple of dashes there. And since we're tailoring this to the character of Weezer, because you will tailor this to each individual character, there we go. That is our setup. And that's step 1 through 6. As long as you've installed Audacity, we're ready to begin the process. All right, here we go. First thing we're going to do is to launch. We've installed Audacity, and we're going to launch Audacity. And you'll probably get a little pop-up here, and you can get rid of that or just click OK each time. And this is our basic work area. Now we're going to go up to File and Open. And we are going to go to this PC. I've installed on the desktop a folder called Audacity Files. And into that I have put the raw audio for the show. And we're going to start with just Act 1. And we're going to highlight that, Open. And that is going to import that MP3 file. And this, of course, is just the first act. And there we go. And it's going to give us a visual waveform of the entire recording. And I believe that is the whole thing, and that lasts quite a bit. But we need to stretch this out so we can actually find the different lines. So to do that, we are going to go to View up here, click, Zoom, and we're going to go Zoom Normal. Boom. That will zoom in a little bit. I also like to zoom in just a little bit more, and that can be the shortcut on that. It's this little button right here. So that will zoom us in just a little bit more. We've got, this indicates there's silence at the front, and wherever I click will be, this is the cursor in this. And to go to the front, I'm going to click there, and let's just listen a little bit. Okay, so that seems a little low, and that's also some the direction, the stage directions and stuff. Let's see if we can find something that's just a little bit of dialogue to hear how it is.
Really? I wouldn't have known. And I can spot a bottle job at 20 paces.
Okay, I'm not happy with the sound level with that. So this button right here will increase the gain. And I previously experimented with this, and I find that I'm going to about 17, all the way to 17 will increase the gain. And
page 12. But you can still get ready. All right. Still Magnolia is Act 1, Scene 1.
Okay. That's Harry Lewis, who's the director. And so what we're going to do is we're going to find where it starts. Now we are working with the part of Weezer. And Weezer does not show up until page 28. So what we're going to need to do is to fast forward this until we find page 28. And it looks like this. And you'll notice that she comes in about halfway down the page. And so we're going to look for page 28. So now we come back to here. The line that we're looking for is, taking the gun was a stroke of genius. So we're going to just go, actually I'm going to keep going up until I just maybe hear.
She insists all the noise has made that stupid animal lose its hair.
Taking that gun was a stroke of genius.
There's our line. So I'm going to click right before that line. Let's double check.
Taking that gun was a stroke of genius, Malay Pina.
What if he comes over here and tries to get his gun back?
Okay, so that is our page. And we're about halfway through that. Now, well, all we need is to start at this particular page. For Weezer, none of the other pages are going to matter. So we're going to go ahead and delete them. So we go to select, and we go to region, and we go track start to cursor. Boom. So there it is. And then we just hit the delete key, or I could go to edit and delete. Okay, so all of that starts on page 28. And I just move this all the way back. So we go boom.
Taking that gun was a stroke of genius, Malin. I know.
What if he comes over here and tries to get his gun back?
Drum would never set foot in a beauty shop. This is women's territory. He probably thinks we all run around naked or something.
Okay, so this is our page. Now, I clicked the stop, which took it right back. You'll see the cursor at the beginning. So, let's save this now. We're going to go File, Save Project as, and this will remind you that it says it's an Audacity project, not an audio file. So, click OK. And what we're going to do is go ahead and put that, keep everything into our Audacity files. We're going to call this, I'm just going to call this Weezer Audio Raw. Okay, so now that is saved. This is an AUP file. What we need to do is to find the last line of the page, and we'll take a look at that. We see that this goes into the next page. So what we're going to do is we're going to fudge a little bit on page 29 and include that little top part of 29 as page 28. Doesn't matter. The main thing is once you have a page, then when you can start, you've got to make sure you have a cue line, and so you'll know where to go. So if you could start at any place in the script on any page that you want, then you can you pick up your lines as they come along. So we are at the beginning.
Taking that gun was a stroke of genius, Malin. I know.
Okay, so the line we're looking for now is going to be the end. It's going to be the top of page 29, and down in my magnolia tree, and there's not a bloom on it, and then Malin has a line.
So I go out to cut some fresh flowers for the living room. I go down to my magnolia tree, and there is not a bloom on it.
Lisa,
Okay,
the judge has not decided whose tree that is.
All right, so what I did is as soon as she finished that line, I clicked on that at that spot just after the vocal is visible and marked it right there. So that is the end of our page. So now when we select region, track start to cursor, we're not deleting this. We are going to save this as a page. Once you have selected from the cursor all the way to the beginning, that is page 28 for us. So we're going to save that. We're going to save this as the selection. We're going to go to File. We're going to export this audio, but we want to export this. We're going to call this page 28. And then down here, we are going to make sure that this is selected. Not entire project, but current selection. And that is correct. We want to go down here to Edit Metadata. And you can put just about anything you want to in here. UISE, I'm going to put Weezer. The track title is most important, and that is going to echo that page 28. Album title, no. Track number, no. Year, maybe. Let's do 2023, just to preserve that. Comments, you can put just about anything you want to. I'm going to do this. and Young Entertainment. And that will be enough for this one. Once you've done this, the information will stay attached to all of our other files, and all you're going to need to change will be the track title. So once you've done this once, then you're good to go. Then everything's ready except where we're going to save this. The folder automatically defaults to Audacity files. You could save them in there if you want to. But what I've done is I have set up a file on my desktop that is Audacity files, where we got the other files from, but I've put a folder here called Audio Files by Pages. And that way we've got it saved. Page 28, MP3, save. Boom. And now export. Now, once you have gotten that page saved, we'll go up, edit, and delete. All right, once we have deleted that, we now have the beginning of the next page, for us, page 29. And what I'm going to do is go up, see what we have here.
White Black is a moron. I'm not sure he isn't. I'm not sure even. I'm not even sure he has opposable.
Okay, so we saw this is something else to consider. This is good. This is serendipitous. She messed up that line a little bit, and since you're going to be listening to these like a normal rehearsal, we're going to clean that up a little bit.
I'm not sure he isn't. I'm not sure even. I'm not even sure he has.
Okay, so we've got mess ups here. Very simple. Watch this. Go up to here. It'll turn to a little hand. We're just going to highlight there. And then we're going to go to edit and delete, or hit the delete key. So now, and you can do this for anything, that a cough or whatever, if you want to take it out, you can just do it.
That's your first mistake. White Black is a moron. I'm not even sure he has opposable thumbs.
Okay, and that fixes that whole thing.
His heart's in the right place.
But he cannot do this to my dog. My dog is on his last legs. What am I going to do with this poor animal? I've got a lot of good
Animal
recipes
ends
here.
right there, and that is the end of her line. So once again, we have found page 29. We are going to go select and region and track start to cursor. Now we're going to go file, export audio, and we've got, I think everything should be where we are, current selection. That's nice. This time we're going to say page 29, and only edit. Let's see, everything else is going to be there, but we're going to change that to page 29, and then click OK. And now we're going to export. And that should automatically go into that folder. And now we're going to edit, delete that page. And so now the next page should be page 30.
I've got a lot of good recipes here. Darling, whatever your name is, would you look out the window?
Okay, so that's their next page. And very simply, that is the process that you will use until the entire scene is done, or act, or entire play. But you'll separate those. Let's just check to see if in fact audio files by pages. Good. There's page 28. There's page 29. We can listen to it.
Taking that gun was a stroke of genius, Malay and Pino.
What if he comes over here and tries to get his gun back?
Okay, very good. So you would just keep doing that until that part of it's done, and then we're ready for part 2. In part 1, we separated the show out into pages. Now we're going to take those pages and we're going to blank out a specific character's lines. In this case, Weezer. Now once you have done the part 1 and you've saved all of those, your page should look like this. There's all the pages. Now, these are just the pages that Weezer appears on. So those are all the ones that we're really concerned with at this time. Now for this tutorial, we're just going to work with the 2 pages that we've already input. And that is going to be page 28 and page 29. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is launch Audacity. And click OK. Now we're going to go into the folder that we found. We're going to open. And it's audio files by pages. I'm going to go ahead and open page 28. Open. Now, once again, we're going to go to View, Zoom, Zoom Normal, +1. I'm going to zoom in here. So now we can see very clearly. See where we are here.
Taking that gun was a stroke of genius, Malia Pino.
Okay, I remember that. So now we're going to need to find where Weezer's part comes in. And we can look here on page 28. And we see again that it comes in just about halfway through. Troopy says, "Lord, give me strength." And that's when Weezer comes in. So we are going to find that right here. Let's say maybe halfway. Let's see what we have here.
You're a little early. You're not expected till 11ish.
Well, that's precisely why I'm here.
Okay, it's not there. It's a little bit before that. We're going to see where we are.
If Red had hair, he would be a collie. Lord, give us strength.
Okay,
This is it. I've found it.
that is it.
I am in hell.
Not
We are not in hell because we found it. Okay. Weezer is Kim, my wife. So that is a natural East Tennessee accent. So we're going to blank out that particular line. Now, let me show you how to do this. It's kind of a cool thing for Audacity. We're going to go into Select, and we are going to do Store Cursor Position. And what that'll do, that will glue that spot right there with this particular cursor. Now we're going to find the end of that line.
This is it. I've found it. I am in hell.
morning,
Okay,
Weezer.
looks like it's right
Don't
there.
try to get on my good side.
Okay, so we have found that line because there it is. So what we'll do, let's double check, see if that's clear.
Morning, Weezer.
Okay, perfect. So now we go to Select, we go Cursor to Stored Cursor Position, and that will store that. Now this is a simple matter of going up to this one right here, and you're going to silence the audio in that selection. There we go. So now,
Would be a collie. Lord, give us strength.
now there should be enough space to get that line in there until the next line.
Morning, Weezer.
Don't try to get on my good
There's
side.
the next line. So we found this spot, and now we're going to select Store Cursor Position, That will preserve that.
Don't try to get on my good side. I no longer have one.
You're a little
That's the
early.
end of that
You're
line.
not expected till 11.
Okay. Pause there. And we will go to select, cursor to stored cursor position, and flatten. All right. The next line is after you're not expected till 11-ish.
You're a little early. You're not expected till 11-ish.
Well, that's precisely why I'm here.
Okay.
I have to cancel.
I'm going to stop right there. That's the beginning of that line. Go to select, store cursor position, and then here the rest of the
Well,
line.
that's precisely why I'm here. I have to cancel. I have to take my poor dog to the vet before he has a nervous breakdown. My dog, I mean. The vet is perfectly healthy. You must be the new girl. Hi.
That's the
May I
line.
have a glass of water? I have been screaming.
Okay. You must be the new girl is the last part there. So did we save that cursor position? I believe we did. Select, cursor to stored cursor position. Let's see if that is correct. That's a little bit longer line. And flatten it, just like that. Believe this is the cue line.
Expected till 11-ish.
Okay, and there's that longer line. So we'll scooch down. And so Annelle says hi. It's probably right here.
Hi. May I have a glass of water? I have
Okay.
been screaming.
So again, that's that. We're going to select store cursor position, which is right there. And
May I have a glass of water? I have been screaming this morning.
I'm sorry this whole
Okay.
thing has gotten out of hand, Weezer.
It's not.
stop. That will go back to where we just clicked there and select cursor to stored position is there and flatten it. Okay. And so the next line, screaming this morning, okay, is right after this line.
I'm sorry this whole thing has gotten out of hand, Weezer.
It's not your fault, Lillian. I used to think that you were.
Okay, so she is right after there. So we technically don't need to store this because all the rest of this is the line. So we're going to blank out from here to the end of this page, to this passage. So we can do it this way. Select, region, cursor to track end. All right, now let's just verify that that has done that. Okay, and that's the end. Once again, we're going to blank that out. Now, this whole page is prepared for rehearsal. Now we're ready to export. Now we don't have to export selection this time. We're going to, because this is just a page. So we're going to export audio. In this time, we're going to do entire project. That automatically is there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this name just a little bit. Act 1, Scene 1. And anyhow you want to do this. And you could put dashes in there. You could do whatever you want to do to change this. This way, if I change the name of it, I'll know that this one has already had the lines blanked out and that it won't get it confused with the other one, which is just the pages. We'll put it in a different folder anyway, but that will work. So let us go to Edit Metadata, Weezer, page 28. Now we don't want to save it the same title. Again, we're going to save it here. Act. This will show up on whatever device that you're playing it on. Act 1, scene 1. Leave a space there. You can put, if you want to, album title will be the name of the show. And this is entirely up to you. And I don't know why that's on there twice, but we'll remove that one. And this will be, and of course this metadata will stay the same, except that what we'll need to do is to change the track title each time. Now we're going to click OK. But now we have to put this, instead of here in our audio files, I have made one file called Solo Rehearsal Files for Weezer. And this is our final destination, if you will. So we're going to save that there and export. Very good. So that will take care of that. And now we'll pull up page 29. Actually, you'll click on that I just clicked on, and that'll erase that. And now we will go to File, Open, page 29, Open. Okay, once again, View, Zoom, Zoom Normal, an additional zoom. Zoom in. Okay, and page 29 looks like this. It's going to begin with actually the second line here.
Weezer, the judge has not decided whose tree that is exactly.
It's mine. Be that as it may. Would it be?
And so this is a longer line, so let's go ahead and save that. Select Store Cursor Position, and let's hear the whole
It's
line.
mine. Be that as it may. Would it not be too much for me to ask to have one lousy blossom to brighten my house? I am all alone except for my dog.
You need something in your
Okay,
life
there's
besides
the
that
next line
dumb
starts.
animal.
Put a lid.
Okay. And by just clicking on stop there, that will send it back to where our final one. Go to select, cursor to stored cursor position, boom. And flatten that puppy. Okay. Next line is a very long line, it looks like. So let's go here.
You need something in your life besides that dumb animal.
Put a lid on it, Clarice.
Okay, so that's where it begins. And select, store cursor position, and we're just going to skip way on down a little bit.
They're blanks. And draw.
Okay, so the line is there blanks. Good, that is our stop. That's our next line. So once again, select, cursor to stored cursor position, flatten. And we'll go to our next line.
Blanks. And drum would never aim a gun at a lady.
Oh, he's a real gentleman. I bet he
Believe
takes
that's
the
here.
dishes.
Okay, so we'll clean that up.
Oh, he's a real gentleman.
Okay, so select, store cursor position, and go.
Oh, he's a real gentleman. I bet he takes the dishes out of the sink before he pees in it.
Well, that's uncalled for.
Okay, that
All I
looks like it's
know
right
is
there.
my
Well, that's uncalled for.
Okay, very good. Select, cursor to stored cursor position, and flatten. Continue.
Uncalled for.
all I know is my poor animal has to be
Okay, that's just a
sedated.
very
He
short
has a condition.
single line there. And so you get the idea. We're going to, once again, do store cursor position, and we're going to find the end. We look at the page and see, okay, this is a short line.
All I know is my poor animal has to be sedated. He has a condition.
Are you sure that's true?
That
Rhett
goes
is a
to
very...
right there. And select. Cursor to stored. Let's just look at that. Okay, that looks right. And then we'll blank it. And the next one is a single line, and then the next line.
Are you sure that's true? Rhett is a very old dog.
I'm simply going on.
Okay, it starts right there.
I'm simply going on what the vet told.
Okay, select, store cursor position, go.
I'm simply going on what the vet told me.
Which vet?
Whitey Black.
That's your first.
Okay, so that's kind of across the line there. So let's see.
Whitey Black
That's your first mistake. Whitey Black is a
Okay,
moron.
let's find that.
told me.
Which vet?
Whitey. What the vet told me.
Which vet?
Whitey Black.
Okay, that's
That's
right
your
in
first
there.
mistake.
And once again, select, cursor to stored, and we're going to do that. Okay, almost done with this page. Okay, she says, which vet?
Which vet?
Whitey Black.
That's your first mistake.
This one is just a word or two, so we're just going to select it like that and blank that out. The ones that are close by, of course, you could just do it that way, and it's a whole lot easier to do and a lot quicker.
But he cannot do this to my dog.
I believe that is okay. That's it. So we could actually do select, region, cursor to track end, and that is it. Flatten it out. Now we are ready to save that, to export it. We're going to export audio. We're going to export the whole thing. Now this is automatically going to put it in that folder. So from now on, it'll automatically store it there, which is what we want. It's going to take the entire project. We're going to still make this Act 1, Scene 1, which it still is. And okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Now we'll go to the metadata, and in this space, Control V, we'll change that to there. For some reason this is still showing up, so we may have to just clear this each time and click OK, and everything looks ready. I'll double check things before I go. Export. Very good. Now you go up to this little X. There's different ways you can do it. You could close the whole thing out if you wanted to, but a lot of times I'll just do this, and then we're ready for the next page. So there you go. Those are the basics to create a method for running lines with the rest of your cast at any time. It's not difficult, but it is time consuming. Of course, the first thing you're going to need is a good digital recording of the show, read by the full cast. My recorder of choice is the Tascam DR40X. The quality is excellent, and there are more features on it than you'll ever need. You can also use your phone, a computer, or a tablet to make your recording. Also, if you don't have a full cast read-through, you can just read it and record it by yourself. It's the cue lines that are most important anyway. Hearing them spoken by the actual performer is just jimmies on the cupcake.
Now, what is your name? Did you ever tell me?
Annelle.
Fine. Are you new in town? I know everybody and I just don't remember ever seeing you around.
I just moved into town not too long ago.
With your family?
I don't have any family to speak of.
With your husband?
My husband, that's hard to say. I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm intrigued. Are you married or are you not? These are not difficult questions.
Finally, if you try this and you find anything unclear or incomplete, please contact me. This is the first tutorial I've created using screencasting. I've gone through this 100 times, but I could have missed something. Break a leg, y'all.